I don't really care about Instagram, it kinda sucks, and because of my avoidance of Instagram, I don't really have that many followers. Now I'm finding out, if I ever decided to follow my dreams and become an actor, that probably isn't going to happen because my low Instagram following is going to cost me acting roles.
I didn't get a part once for something big.
Okay.
It was because I didn't have enough Instagram followers.
And it's like, where it's like, I don't care about Instagram. Instagram sucks. Right, but just so you know, if you have over this many followers, you can get the movie funded.
Yeah, you hear that a lot, especially now.
Certain roles, they would ask me, or they would come to my team, we like her, but we just don't know if she has enough of a platform.
And that's why you see so many YouTubers in movies and TV shows, and TikTokers in movies and commercials. Even Emma Chamberlain is making her acting debut in a horror movie called Forbidden Fruits. So why are studios constantly hiring influencers to be in their movie projects? Well, it's simple, because it's free marketing. Over the last decade, influencers have crept up into film and TV more and more. Some performances are decent, others not so much. That's the path of actors today. In order to get into film or TV, you need to be an influencer first. And that's even something that Jenna Ortega said in an interview when she first started acting.
See, when I first started acting, it was told to me, by my first agency, really, that I had to have a public platform and that's what I had to be. And also, when I did television shows when I was younger, they would take us to media training, or they would call it, Disney 101 or something like that, where you would go and they would give you a notebook and pens and pencils and paper, and they would say, okay, you're gonna post 3 times a day. This is how you get the most engagement. This is how you get people liked. This is how you build followers. Wow. Download these apps as well. Engage, promote our show on. So it became a business.
Here's a story. Around 10 years ago, I went to an acting agency/training camp. Back then, they told me if I wanted to get into acting, I need to do modeling first. All CW actors are previous models that got into acting, they said. And it's because everybody wants a semi-recognizable pretty face on their television screen. But that was back then. Now, studios want high follower counts, and they essentially want a built-in audience, it's free marketing, and having an influencer is safer than having a new unknown actor on your project, especially if you want to make money. If you cast someone with millions of fans, people will at least think of watching, even if the movie's garbage. It's sad, but it's true, and it seems like many actors aren't really happy about this. Ethan Hawke says casting actors based on Instagram followers is crazy. Some people think being an actor is protein shakes and going to the gym. I don't know what that means, Ethan Hawke. But this is a reaction to an interview that Maya Hawke had when she said that directors have been told by producers to cast people with a certain amount of followers.
And it's like, where it's like, I don't care about Instagram. Instagram sucks. Right, but just so you know, if you have over this many followers, you can get the movie funded. Well, I want to make the movie, so it's a really confusing line to walk. And I've talked to so many smart directors who tell me that they get I'm talking to them about how I'm going to delete my Instagram, and they're like, just so you know, when I'm casting a movie with some producers, they hand me a sheet with the amount of collective followers I have to get of the cast that I cast. So if you delete your Instagram and I lose those followers, understand that these are the kinds of people that I need to cast around you.
Just picture this. Imagine graduating from theater school, then being on Broadway, only to be cast in a movie alongside Charlie D'Amelio and Noah Beck. Wait, is that Charlie D'Amelio in Broadway's Juliet? Okay, that's pretty impressive. Influencers, TikTok actors, they're terrible, and believe me. A Doctor TV show starring only TikTok stars. I watched an entire Doctor show where the cast was entirely TikTokers, and I still get nightmares about Dixie D'Amelio's eye rolls. Not only is the acting genuinely awful, but seeing them on screen kind of just feels like I'm watching a sponsored post. Have you seen Addison Rae's He's All That? Every 5 seconds, they were promoting a product. It was almost like watching a parody movie. It was like a 2-hour version of that Wayne's World gag.
Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor. Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but for me, the beast doesn't include selling out.
And the worst part, I actually think it did really well on Netflix. So well that Addison Rae now has a 3-movie deal in the works with them. The TikTok star turned actress has entered into a multi-picture creative partnership with Netflix. Addison Rae has signed a film deal with Netflix, and she will continue to work with Netflix through a new partnership where the studio will develop new films for Rae to star in. Rae will also serve as an executive producer on projects she'll bring to the company. Executive producer! Like, this is great for Addison Rae. Going from dancing and lip syncing on TikTok to a 3-movie deal on Netflix is an incredible feat for sure. But people still see her as a TikTok star and not an actress because she isn't classically trained. She didn't go to theater school. There are articles that came out saying that Addison Rae had to get fed her lines because she couldn't memorize her lines because she's not an actor. But you know what Addison Rae does have? 88 million followers.
I didn't get a part once for something big.
Okay.
Because, and hey, it might not have just been this reason, but this was the feedback that I heard was because I didn't have enough Instagram followers at the time. Okay, I mean that I firmly don't believe in, like not getting a part.
Yeah.
But you know, and it was for one of like a bigger thing, like a franchisee thing. But yeah.
And that has opened the door to other people getting into the acting game. People like Noah Beck.
TikTok star Noah Beck is currently filming a movie. This movie is based off a Wattpad book titled The QB Bad Boy in Me. Noah will be playing a quarterback football player who runs into a cheerleader. This cheerleader is trying to get her dream scholarship as to being a part of a dance program that she's dreamt since she was a little girl. She really wants to escape her small town and explore a brand new city. Noah's character is obviously a bad boy quarterback, which, hot. The movie will be released this year on Tubi, but there's no specific release date, only it may coming out in 2020.
I have complete faith in Noah Beck's Wait, it's out? Sideline, The QB and Me. I'm gonna have to watch this.
Go long. Longer, dude, come on.
Careful, that's my... Dang car.
Oh, this is gonna be good. You know who else is getting into acting? Charli D'Amelio, set to star in horror movie Homeschool from Rings director. Wait, what is Rings? Did they make a sequel to The Ring?
Charli D'Amelio is taking her talents to the big screen. The TikTok star scored the leading role in a frightening new film titled Homeschool. Charli spoke exclusively to E! News about her excitement, sharing, quote, "Acting has actually been a goal of mine for quite some time now, but I really wanted to take the time to look at a lot of different genres, scripts, and roles. I'm a huge fan of horror and thriller movies, and as soon as I read Homeschool, I knew it was for me."
Lauren Gray even has her first movie coming out on Netflix, and the list goes on and on and on. So is this the new normal? Probably. Actually, a lot of agencies now have entire departments just dedicated to influencers. Oh, actually, I have one better. Ryan Kavanaugh, the CEO of Relativity Media, and they finance movies like Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift and Fast and the Furious 6. I'm sure there's more. But Relativity Media went bankrupt in 2015, and I don't think they've produced or financed any movies since 2018. Well, their CEO decided to make a brand new production company called Gen TV. And Gen TV was a subscription-based production company that made movies that were entirely acted by influencers and TikTokers and celebrities. For example, their very first movie was called Skill House, and it was starring Bryce Hall, 50 Cent, and Hannah Stocking. It kept getting delayed. It took 3 years for the movie to come out, and it didn't even come out in theaters. It came out online for free, I think. Wait, hold on a second. They call it a Ryan Kavanaugh movie, but they turned it into TV episodes instead. Oh, wow, this is a disaster. And now 50 Cent, who was one of the producers, is suing Ryan Kavanaugh because he wanted to block the release of this movie because he says he was never paid for the acting role. 50 Cent sued Ryan Kavanaugh and his Gen TV streamer Thursday, alleging the filmmaker failed to pay him for his acting role on the project Skill House. He seeks $5 million and also alleges trademark infringement, false advertising, and unfair competition. Looks like his little influencer movie experiment didn't work the way that he wanted. But unfortunately, I feel like this is just the beginning. I remember it first started with getting influencers to just promote movies and show up to red carpet events. Influencers have become Hollywood's secret weapon, and studios are spending big to keep them happy. They were getting paid tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars just to create content surrounding a new movie that will come out. But now it's moved from advertising for movies to being in the movies themselves. Okay, it's 3 o'clock. I'm gonna go to the movie theater and watch a movie that have no influencers in it. And then I'm gonna come back and watch this movie with Noah Beck.
Careful, that's my...
He's tripping on air. That's good acting.